널 기다렸어.
You know, doesn't get through. This could definitely be like a bomber hush kind of decider here if Sue continues to like kind of stagnate.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's 1-3 or 1-4? 1-3, right?
Sue?
Yeah. I think it's 1-4.
I think he's 2-2. He took 2. Did he?
No, I think he only won one game. He won versus
Yeah,
Trap.
you're right. You're right. He won against Trap, and that's it. So he's
1-3,
I guess.
And
I guess he'll be playing more games later on tonight.
We're going to jump into the last match of our first part, which is technically the 16th match. I actually forgot about it. You mentioned earlier that this was going to be our last match because we did the double match at the beginning because of the team kill. Hush versus Trap.
Sue also beat Hush. So he
beat Hush, and who else did he beat?
2-3. Trap.
Okay. So I actually didn't mark one. That's
yeah,
why.
so there you go. He's 2-3. Not the best ratio so far. But Trap himself also definitely struggling 1-4. At least his one win is an away win. But at this point, he just needs to get as many wins as possible to have any chance.
Well, if TY 10-0s, we're going to have a lot of negative ratios in the group, and that's when that's where everyone could tie at like 4-6 or like 5-5, and then like those wins are going to matter.
Like a three-way tie at 3-7 or something. That would be crazy.
Well, Ruins of Endion is going to be the map here again, guys. This is the last match of our first round robin. Hush versus Trap. Let's jump into it.
Here we are on Wolf's favorite map, the Dire Wolf Head. That's the official name. Down here in the bottom right, in the red, it is Hush from CJ Entis.
And over here in the blue, bottom left, the Protoss player. It is Trap. So this is our first and only PvP we've had today. Whoa. Two people pause at the same time. That creates a problem.
So Hush having some issues. Not sure what the problem is. I see him in his booth, and I can't really tell just yet, but we'll get some updates when we can for you guys.
Yeah, should be soon, no doubt.
Had to fix his headset, so seems like a very small issue. Maybe he could hear a little bit, so he had to push those in.
Yeah, it's a very legit thing to do. Players do all the time where they're just like, oh well, it's bleeding a little bit. We need to adjust this because I'm not going to be a cheater.
Hush is a stand-up guy.
That's right.
There you go.
Other pro gamers in the past, somewhat controversially, have not said anything and then later come out in interviews and be like, yeah, I could hear it. I'm like, whoa. I'm not going to name any names, but this has happened 4 or 5 times in StarCraft 2. I'm like,
yeah,
you should probably just have raised your hand then and not complained about it a week later.
Yeah. Some people, man.
Some people. Not going to name any names.
2-gate here for Trap. And just 1 for Hush. He's actually gone double gas, and I think he's mining all the gas. Yeah, he's got 6 in gas right now. So going to be an interesting, fast tech build here from Hush. See what he wants to start off with. Could be like a fast Mothership Core 2, pretty close distances by air. You just send it over as fast as humanly possible and try to get some damage and scouting done.
That pylon's pretty cool. It gives a lot of information, vision, and can be kind of almost like a little mini fortress out there to defend from and shut a pressure down from. I think the most powerful unit in PvP on this map is going to be the Phoenix, though, just because of the close distance by air. I'd say probably number 2 is going to be the Warp Prism. You can just send units over from your main base to the main of your opponent just very, very quickly. But again, this is my first time casting PvP on this map or even seeing one. So I'll have to wait and see how this plays out before I pass judgment. As this map is kind of its own unique formation. It's like if you took Arena and flipped it on its head or something.
Made it bigger, more space.
It's like if you put the island
Spread
on the
out.
left. Oh, that's what this is for. Okay.
That's pretty cool.
All right, gonna knock this tower down. So even more of a fortress than I suggested earlier. The probe's like, what the hell, man? I thought you were gonna let it out down after I came back. Probe could still stay out there and scout.
Yeah. Stalker comes over and he's like, oh, really? Okay. That's going to make this Stargate very, safe here. It did not get scouted by Trap. Adding 2 more gates, too.
This is funny. Again, this map is very new, and I don't really get it yet for PvP, because how could I? We're just watching the first time ever. But, I feel like an Oracle build is so risky. He gets lucky and gets the scout off, which shouldn't have happened. So now he's like, oh, okay, this is fine. But I'd be terrified, like, well, what if I just fly over there and he has Phoenixes, and then that was my whole build,
And lucky for him, the Mothership Core is out of position. Trap's Mothership Core is in the middle of the map, going towards the natural here.
Oh, man. And he
Not doing much.
He just sent all of his Stalkers down to the natural as well. All of them. So this is totally a free mineral line right now.
Oh, man. This is way too much damage. Insta-recall into overcharge, no doubt.
Gets out without taking a single point of shield damage. A bit early on that transfer, too. Messing up his probe transfer means he's going to lose a little bit of mining time. It's okay. Blink on the way for Trap now. And from that Twilight Council, the Robo of Hush nearly completed.
Yeah, it's another thing that the Oracle gives to you. If he hadn't seen the, with the probe getting in, which was a mistake, Oracle would have seen the Twilight Council and known the tech of Trap. So Hush just have that robotics bay, or rather facility up, and just going to make observers to start.
Just based on the posturing of Hush, I kind of already figure out what he's got planned here. Like, he's adding more sentries. He's working on these rocks. He already killed the rock tower, which is still up for Trap, obviously, because he's like, he's trapped himself, so there's no reason for me to kill this right now. But, like, you know what? Hush could even, kill his rock tower with the Oracle or something. And, even further control this game. But he's got the faster +1 upgrades. He's going full late game. And he's so far completely right on track. This third base, how is he even going to touch it? Blink Stalkers can't get over there as far as I can tell. I'm not sure how he's ever going to assault this base. He finally takes his own.
If he's got vision, he can blink up, but it's going to be rough. It's so far away that even if he wanted to, he'd have to walk his Stalkers all the way towards the north side, through the middle, rather, and then just blink on up. It's still a very large distance.
Though, in Trap's defense, he realized what was going on very quickly as well and started his own third base. So his third is only slightly behind. And he does have, the blink tech, which isn't too useful yet. But the +1 for Hush is vastly ahead, massively ahead, super ahead.
Massively ahead.
Just big time ahead. Look at it. It's halfway ahead.
Mm-hmm.
The other forge just finished. Look, just started it. That's how ahead it is, all right? Did I mention that the +1 is ahead? Here comes 2 Adepts to do a little bit of harassment. Doesn't commit a lot. Even the Oracle's like, you better get in there. Beam you down. Third base is up now for both players.
And this is going to turn into a pretty long game. Both players just going to get upgrades out and get their army compositions ready to go. And we'll get a close look at exactly what they want to do here. You see Charge on the way for Hush, whereas Trap just committing to an extra gateway, some Immortals. Hush, he has 2 already, which explains why he's cutting that back for now. We'll add in some more a little bit later on, no doubt.
Total reveal here on everything that's coming across the map. That poised attack. Robo Bay. We'll see if it's going to be there's more common disruptors in the matchup, or if we're going to see an SOS like Colossus. Look at this. Oracle just casually makes every single probe walk away. He's like, guys, I'm cool, I'm chill. I didn't even turn on my beam.
Funny thing is, he probably could have gotten 2 or 3 kills if he was paying attention. But
if SOS was there, he would have killed every probe and not lost any health. But, Hush still
just SOS things. So we got the attack coming across the map right now from Trap, but Hush actually has more stuff. He's just got to get it into position. It looks like Trap maybe just wanted to preemptively take down those rocks. And he did a bit of damage. about a third and then just backed off.
You know, he does have disruptors on the way. He's not going to commit to this. That's something that Hush does not have at all. And in fact, he's evened up the count in upgrades quite significantly. Like now it's, I mean, not count, but like upgrade time. Like he's only a little bit behind on +2, but they're basically on the same upgrades. So he's evened that out. And Trap is going to pull ahead, I'd say, if Hush doesn't start doing something harassment-wise or start catching up on the tech. Because right now, like, Trap's like 2005 and Hush is like the 90s. Like, I mean, he's going to have a ton
of the disruptors coming out here.
Like, right now, Trap is like uninstalling his MySpace profile to get Facebook, and like, Hush is still on like Orchid or whatever the hell that thing was that people used before MySpace and Facebook.
It's going to be an interesting composition from Hush. You know, no disruptors, so a straight-on fight. If Trap can kite and get those disruptor shots onto the bulk of the army, Archons are very clunky, so are Immortals, and you could definitely land those, but we'll see if those chargelets of Hush can get on top of the disruptors or how these two are going to engage in the middle of the map. Because, you know, we talk a lot about compositions and which one is better than which, but again, a lot does come down to how they actually engage and how the units collide.
Yeah, and also, like, really the key for disruptors is, yeah, it's hard for them to get their shots off, and you need to make them precise, but you also need to make sure that they stay alive. You need to make sure they're protected, because if you lose those, you lose your fighting power. It's 5 of the most expensive units in the game. If they're all clustered up and get blown up or targeted down in the middle of a fight, then, I mean, you lose your power. But obviously, the key is to just make sure they don't get surrounded by charged zealots. Keep them at the back. And hitting charged zealots is harder than you would think, even though they're melee units, with these disruptor shots, because they charge and they're quick and they, you know, get on top of your own stalkers. You don't want to be hitting your own stalkers with disruptor shots. It does have friendly fire.
Look at that hallucination. I'm not sure if that was on attack move going over to the third base or if it was actually just standing there, floating there, waiting for any kind of units to come across. But it does spot the warp prism and is chasing it.
Despite the fact that he saw it, he is moving away, and it's actually going to hit that third base.
Probably got some stuff back there.
This attack coming in. Disruptors are in good position to actually start firing shots off here. And yeah, he does have stuff back here, as you mentioned.
3 cannons, and here we go. It looks like Hush is going to engage. Here come the Purification Novas, already doing a large number of damage here. And there's more where that came from, so Hush immediately has to back off.
When you fight in an engagement area like this, where there's not a lot of room for the Pros to move away, and you get into that good of a position, it's hard to deny this type of attack. And massively ahead now is Trap in size of the army and also economy. Here comes those charged zealots. Disruptors over here doing as many Novas as they can. No, look at this, a lot of them falling.
Novas, a lot of them get off, and now he just chunked half of those zealots, killed them all, and he's got more where that came from.
Yeah.
Here, I think maybe the warp prism went down. Looks like he's got it, but okay, there it is.
He lost a few disruptors, but he just, like you said, he has more where that came from. I like your way of thinking, because it's like, well, yeah, I just keep making 2 at a time, and I have 4 base economy, you only have 3, and you don't have any tech to deal with this.
Yeah,
Plus
right.
3 is going to be on the way for...
That base is not happening.
Yeah, no way. Double Temple Archives on the way temporarily for Trap. It looks like he canceled 1. 7 disruptors is about as many as you need. I don't think he'll ever want to really make more than that. But he's transitioning. He's going to have Storm drops. He can make Archons with gas, you know, really efficiently. Because that's the one thing his army is really missing, I'd say. And like you said, this map is going to go to a longer game where it's like hard to kill your opponent and stuff. So maybe setting up for some Storm drops would be cool. Just going to go for the Archons for now. The Fleet Beacon did come up for Trap, right? Or excuse me, for Hush, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
mothership on the way.
Making a mothership.
Look at this gold base right here. Very well protected. He could keep his army here, and there's no way Hush can go up that ramp and ever try to kill this. By the way, it seemed like there may have been a bad rally, but it looks like he has identified it now. One of the Robos was actually rallied into the main. It's 3 Immortals and an extra Disruptor.
All right, well, here we go. This pylon wall trying to be set up as well to help him control this. He's going to go ahead and cancel everything as he realizes he can't control this location. This is actually a It's an island. It's not a rock island. Like I said, it was an island before, but obviously if you kill the rocks, you can walk up here. Now that we're past that point in the game, he does get up here. No cancel on that Nexus. Sort of a mistake there. Not going to be the end of the world, but would have liked that money back.
It's curious also that Trap is so scared to fight this. Taking this army very seriously. There are a bunch of Archons in the mix. He wants to just play it passively, allow his Disruptors to do the damage rather than trading armies.
He plays it plat, he like maxes out, and then eventually just walks across the map in 1As, and if he loses, he's like, ah. Oh, those shots were decent, and he's got more.
Where that came from.
I know, you and I are on that more where that came from train right now. Better upgrades for Hush here. He has +3, and he does have this Mothership. It's hard to see what you're going to hit when you don't have vision here.
He's only got 1 Observer.
Oh, that's actually kind of sloppy. It's not even with his army.
And there it is, up at the top. He needs that.
I don't think he should be committing this, even with the Disruptor. Oh, God. Well,
Hush.
Hush.
Overstepping his boundaries. Now he has to back off. At least the Nexus is cloaked here.
He needs to decide if he's going to commit to a fight with his Malians to try to surround this army. Because they can, you know, if you get Zealots on top of this, they can win a fight, especially if all your units are cloaked.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 2 Archons in the mix here.
You know how you can never beat a Disruptor army is just by standing and trying to dodge shots and never taking an attack. Okay, now he's finally going to commit. Now he's getting on top of those Disruptors. This is what I'm talking about.
Disruptors getting killed, actually, 1 by 1. There are a couple left over, and now he's targeting them on the Zealots, which is very smart.
But look, I mean, he lost that fight in a lot of ways, but did you see how well decently he did? You know, it was like, if you just stand there and keep taking shots, eventually you will lose. You have to fight eventually.
That's what you got to do. You just kite the Zealots, you chunk them out, and then eventually once the Zealots are down, the other composition cannot engage with you at all.
All right, he's going to try to commit to break through these cannons. It's going to be very difficult. The cannon's giving a lot of vision of this army as well, and I think this is going to be the beginning of the end here. The Warp Prism does go down. Barriers are up, though. The tag goes up as well.
Very, very important. So many Immortals on the side of Trap just doing massive damage.
And all those Stalkers as well. There's no more money for Hush. That should be game over.
Yep, there it is. Going to blink underneath that Mothership. Everything is still tagged here. And down she goes, as do the last of Hush's units here, as Trap pushes in, and GG.
Man, see, the Mothership was when he got Google+, man. He didn't need that social network. He was like trying. He's like, all right, I know, I know it's too late for the Facebook. I got Google+. It's like, no, that didn't take off. Should have gotten Facebook.
Oh man.
The Disruptors, though, obviously the better tech, and
especially on that map, I love the way he controlled that high ground, taking down the rocks, and it was just so hard for that Zealot composition with the Archons to ever really engage. Perhaps on a different map, that composition would have worked out a little bit better.
So I'm going to check the time. Our next broadcast is scheduled to start in 15 minutes, so I don't know if we're going to do like a 15-minute break, an hour break, or
probably. Okay.
10-minute break.
Yeah, just a 10-minute break, guys. So essentially not much of a break. You can go get some popcorn, some food, maybe, and come back and join us.
I'm like, we're never eating tonight.
We aren't, but you guys could. So thanks for watching the first half. Continue to join us and tell your friends to join us for the second half, because it's going to get even crazier as these players try to win more games and win their spots into the round of 16. So we'll see you guys after a 10-minute break.
다시 한번 정리를 해드리겠습니다. 감사합니다.